Hello everyone, my name is Mary Crossan, and today I'd like to take a few minutes to point out some features and gotchas in Blackboard as you're getting ready to update your course for the upcoming semester. First, in case you're new to KUMC, Blackboard is our learning management system. It's the online location where you'll post materials, activities, and information for your classes. The URL to log into Blackboard is bb.kumc.edu. You want to be using an up-to-date version of a supported browser. For Blackboard, those are Safari, Edge, Chrome, and Firefox. Of those four, the one we recommend most strongly is Chrome. It will give you the best access to features in not only Blackboard itself, but other learning software like Collaborate and Panopto. You'll sign in with your regular KUMC credentials, the same username and password that you use for email or for logging into your university-owned computer. We use single sign-on here, so the same password will work for a number of systems, and once you're signed into one, you often won't need to sign into others. When you first sign into Blackboard, this is what you'll see. On the left-hand side, you've got a navigation menu. On the right, you have your page content. You're going to land in the KUMC home area, and wherever you are in Blackboard, you can get back here by clicking this button right here at the top. At the top of the home page, you'll see Blackboard announcements. This is where we post information about maintenance, updates, and other changes to not only Blackboard, but other teaching and learning software such as Collaborate and Panopto. If you move down the page a little bit, you've got quick links, and these are frequently accessed links for faculty, such as the Testing Center calendar, the TLT blog, and online forms to schedule recording of in-person learning spaces. So please check this area if you haven't already done so. And then immediately below there are links to the mobile apps, which are available for both iOS and Android. There's a student app and there's a separate instructor app. You probably aren't going to want to use these to set your course up, but they are a good way to access things like discussion boards from your phone once your course is up and running. Down near the bottom, we have some other instructor resources and student resources, so please take time to go through those and point them to your students if you feel like those would be helpful to them. If you have any recommendations for us that you'd like for us to include, please don't hesitate to email so that we can possibly implement those, and contact information will be given also at the end of this video. Directly below the KUMC Home button, you'll see a button with your name on it. If you click on that, it'll take you to your Blackboard profile area. One of the things you can do here is upload a picture of yourself, which will appear in different locations in Blackboard like discussion boards next to things you've posted. And that may be something you want to do. It's always nice to give students a face to put to a name. But what I wanted to show you in particular, especially if you're new, is the global notification settings. And if you'll go to email notifications, you'll see the way that it's set up initially is going to be email me right away about these activities. If you've got 100 students in your class and they're all turning in an assignment, you don't want to get 120 notifications immediately every time somebody turns in the assignment. So I would strongly suggest changing this to email me once a day, and maybe also printing out things so that you've only got here what you really feel like you need notifications about, and then just click Save to save your settings. The next thing we're going to look at is the courses area, and click that button. It'll take you here where you will see a link to every course you have access to. You can also view this as a list. If you do view it as tiles, the pictures are either randomly assigned, or if you are the instructor, you can go ahead and upload a particular picture that you would like to show for your class. Do be aware that if you upload a picture here, it is going to show as the banner in your course site. So after you've been here a few semesters, you're going to get a lot of courses in here. It'll be classes you have maybe taken as a graduate student here. You'll see courses you have taught, past semesters, current semester, future semester, if those are already set up. There are a couple ways you can control your view. You can choose a particular semester if you'd like to see those courses at the top. You can search your courses with a text string, and that will pull out courses that match those. But the next time you get into Blackboard course area, you're going to be back in the big bucket of courses. So rather than have to either put a filter on or scroll around every time you want to look for a course, what we recommend that you do, you see these little stars here. If you click the star, that is going to mark that course as a favorite course, which means it'll always appear at the top of the page. And those changes will stick. If you get out and get back into courses, even if you log out of Blackboard, those same courses are going to always be at the top of the page. So a good shortcut is to always favorite your current semester courses. At the end of the semester, you can just unclick those stars and star your classes for the next semester. And that way you never have to filter or scroll around. So when can you expect to see the new course sites for the upcoming semester? Summer and fall semester courses are usually created together in mid-March. Spring semester courses are usually created in October. For all semesters, students will be enrolled and show up on your roster approximately a week before the first day of classes. When courses are first set up, they're set as private. This means that they're not accessible to students. When you're ready to have your students access your course, there are two ways to open the course up. The first way is to click on the three dots here, which will open up a drop-down menu. Go to Open Course. It'll give you a confirmation window and click Open to Students. And the lock disappears, so you know that students now can access the course. Okay, now we're going to actually get into the course. You can click anywhere on the tile or on the title to go into the course site. And this is what you'll see. Like when you get into Blackboard, you do have the navigation area on the left and the content area on the right. At the top of this page, you have a lock button. So this is the second way you can make your course available to students. Just click the lock and it is now available to students. One more thing I wanted to mention about courses and whether or not they're marked private. If a course site is marked private, students can't access the course. They can't see the content, they can't see the announcements, they can't see anything. They can, however, still click on the link. And when they click on that link, they'll get an error message. If you look in your gradebook, there is a last login column where you'll see a date for each student's last login. It's a good way to quickly gauge how often people are participating in the class. But if someone clicks on the link to a closed class, it will update that date in the gradebook for that student. So even though your course is not open, if you look in the Grade Center, you may see last login dates next to some of the students' names. That's just a little glitch with Blackboard. It doesn't mean that they actually were able to log in and access the class. Until the point where you make that course available, all that login date reflects is an attempt to click on the class. They have not actually been able to access anything. So this course menu on the left, if you are using a Chromebook or a small laptop, something with limited screen real estate, you do have the ability to, if you hover your mouse over here and you see the little less than button, you can click that to close the menu and get a little bit bigger work area here on the right. When you need access to the menu again, you just hover over here and click on the button again and it reappears. The next part of this video, I'm going to turn over to Nellie Muderis, Assistant Director of Online Learning, and she will walk you through some of the functions within a course site.
Hello everyone, my name is Nellie Muderis, and today I'd like to take some time out to point out a few areas in Blackboard as you're updating and preparing your course for the semester. When I click on my sandbox, I will enter the course homepage. So two ways that you could see the student preview mode. One is by turning off the edit mode. When you turn the edit mode by clicking on it, you'll see that you'll lose your tools in terms of editing. So this is a cleaner look and it is part of the student view. Why I say part is because you still see the course management area, which is for the instructor. So this is, although part of the student preview mode, it's not as accurate. I'm going to turn this back on and I'm going to click on the enter student preview mode. Notice the orange banner, and as I scroll, you see how the management area is gone. This is exactly what the student gets, and that's what they see. When I go into the content area like I had before, notice that you still don't see your tools. So it's consistent with what we did when we turned off the edit mode. It really depends on what you want to see and how you want to see it. But you do have both available to you. When you exit the preview, you do get a prompt. I will do as suggested here by recommended, as it will remove the data that I leave behind, which is what I like. So I'll press on continue. Okay. Another thing that I'd like to bring up to you is the dates. I know changing dates is quite a tedious process, and I'd like to bring up this feature that you may want to pilot, and let me know what you think. Under Course Tools, there's Date Management. When you click on this, and I have done this already, so I'm going to click on the Date Management again, you have certain options. I always use the List All Dates for Review option because it is the fastest. I don't have to go through a whole bunch of steps because it is wizard-like. When I click on List All Dates for Review and I click on Start, it will bring up, based on how much content I have in my course and how much assignments, quizzes, tests, and whatnot. It might take a little bit, or it might take a little bit longer. I'm just going to give it a minute or two here as it compiles all the dates that I have in this course. Now, I didn't copy all the content of a course and put it in my sandbox. It's just parts of different courses. So it's not like a full-fledged course. And it tells you how long it took to do this, and it's 22 seconds. So I'm going to click on Next, and I think I have only a few. Yeah, I only have 7 items here, but let me show you how you can edit these. This is not foolproof, so I would like for you, even though you went through the date management and changed all the dates, I would recommend that you go through the course and just spot check to make sure you didn't miss any. But you can click on this edit mode, and when you click on that, you can change the date and time here. Availability starts and availability ends. When you are done, you click on this green arrow and it'll go away. So it'll submit it. And you will have to do this page by page. I don't know how many pages some of you might have. I'm hoping not more than 2 or 3 most. But depending, like I said, how much content and how much assignments and discussion boards, anything that has to do with students submitting and date dues on the calendar, it will find and it will bring up. So this is an area that I would like for you to pilot and let me know if it is faster for you. And after you do edit it, notice how it says updated, so you know where you left off in case you got interrupted. Another place that I'd like for you to look at is discussions. Some of you might also have pages of discussions, especially when the course has been inherited from another instructor many times. I know everyone's really wary of getting rid of things because what if you want it back? We do have many versions on the server. As you saw, it went to fall of 2018. Chances are if you deleted something, we can probably put it back. So please don't be too wary of deleting, at least as you're updating your course. When you are enabled or when you have enabled the course, please do be aware of what you delete. Discussion threads, discussion boards are very difficult to put back together, and it will require more than one department to do this if you accidentally delete a live discussion board. I'm just putting it out there, but before the course is enabled, obviously that's not going to be a problem. As you look through your discussion boards, if there are those that you don't want to use, they don't need to use, it has a context menu. You can go in and click on delete and delete them right here. Just as a heads up, all discussion board forums are held here under the discussion link. Under the content link, what it does is it places a link to the discussion forum here. So just because you delete the link under the content doesn't mean you're actually deleting the discussion forum here. These are 2 separate places, and you will need to delete them in 2 separate places. So one is under content and one is under the discussion. The discussion area is where all the forums are housed. So anything that you delete that's related to discussions under the content, it'll still be here and intact under the discussion area. You are just deleting the link. So for example, if I go under content And if I go under, for example, week 1, I think I have an introduce yourself. Notice I have a link to a discussion forum called introduce yourself. And I'm going to delete this link. It is just deleting the link, nothing else. When I go under the discussion area here, there's my introduce yourself. It's still housed. It's still intact. Nothing's been changed. So just an FYI that they're two different places. If you want to get rid of it for good, you will need to have it deleted from here. Also, another note, anything that has any value placed to it. So if your discussion boards are for a grade, you've set 5 points. Actually, you can come over here and edit this. And as you scroll down, it will ask for grade value here. Notice it says grade. An option is no grading in forum. Chances are you want them for points. Because it's actually tied to the gradebook, once you delete this discussion forum, it will automatically delete it from the gradebook as well. Just a heads up that it will do that. I do get a lot of questions about that, so I thought I'd cover it here. Roster is another place that I wanted you to well, it's not another place, but it is another item I wanted to cover. Rosters for instructors are under users, users and groups. When you click on users, please compare and contrast against your enroll and pay roster, just to make sure that we have all the students and all the co-instructors that you have, and make sure that you have the right role attached with the co-instructors. If there are students or co-instructors that should not be enrolled, please bring that to our attention so that we can get that resolved before school starts. Even if it happens after you have enabled your course, it doesn't matter. We still really need to know about it. These are certain things that needs to be done ahead of time. Well, it has to be done. Now, whether it's ahead of time or just in time, it's fine, but it does need to get resolved. Once the course has started, we will disable the account, the student account. We will not delete the student themselves from the course, only because there's data attached to that, and we don't want to delete anything the student has done. And that has to do with financial aid. So we disable their account instead. So just please know that as well. Other than that, I think these are a few areas where there are certain gotchas with these, and they're frequently asked. So I thought I'll bring this up to you in a video. I wish you a great time in preparing your course, and I thank you for your support and your time.